Ra, the giver of life, the ancient Egyptians revered him deeply. The sun, a blazing star that dominates the sky. Its light and heat are essential for life, the source of life on earth. Without it, nothing would grow and life would cease to exist. The ancient Egyptians knew this. They built temples to honor the sun. They worshipped a god of the sun. His name was Ra. Ra was powerful and revered. He sailed across the sky each day in his solar bark, bringing light to the world. He brought light and warmth, essential for the growth of crops and the survival of people. He brought life to the land, making the Nile Valley fertile and prosperous. The Egyptians depended on him for their daily lives, their agriculture, and their well-being. Without Ra, there would be darkness. The world would be shrouded in eternal night. Without Ra, there would be cold. The warmth that sustains life would be gone. Without Ra, there would be no Egypt. The civilization would not have thrived. Ra was the protector of Egypt, watching over the land and its people. Ra was more than just the sun. He was the creator, the one who brought the world into existence. He was the king of the gods, ruling over all other deities with supreme authority. He was the father of all pharaohs, the divine ancestor of Egypt's rulers. He was the source of all order and justice, ensuring that the world remained balanced and harmonious. But Ra was also aging. His power was fading. His grip on order was loosening, and in the shadows evil stirred. Chaos threatened the land. Apep was a giant serpent. He represented darkness and chaos. He hated Ra and all that he stood for. Apep wanted to destroy the world, to plunge it into eternal night. Apep gathered followers. They were the enemies of Egypt. They whispered lies and spread discontent. They plotted against Ra. They wanted to overthrow him. The people of Egypt were afraid. They looked to Ra for salvation. They prayed for his protection. They knew that if Ra fell, so would they. Ra saw the danger. He felt his power waning. He knew he had to act. He summoned his most powerful weapon. He summoned the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Ra was a powerful force. It was the embodiment of Ra's power. It could see everything. It could destroy anything. It was Ra's ultimate weapon. Ra spoke to the Eye. He gave it a command. "Go forth," he said. "Destroy my enemies, protect my people, restore order to the land." The Eye of Ra shot out from Ra's forehead. It was a blazing ball of fire. It flew across the sky searching for Ra's enemies. It was ready to unleash its fury. Section 4. Sekhmet's Fury. The Eye of Ra was powerful, a symbol of immense strength and divine authority. But it was also dangerous, a force that could not be easily controlled. It was filled with Ra's rage, a burning fury that could consume everything in its path. It could not always tell friend from foe. It could be destructive, leaving devastation in its wake. The Eye of Ra transformed. It became Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess. Sekhmet was a fierce lion goddess known for her ferocity and strength. She was the goddess of war and destruction, feared by all who knew her. She was the embodiment of Ra's wrath, a living weapon of his anger. Sekhmet went on a rampage, her fury unleashed upon the world. She breathed fire and tore through Ra's enemies, leaving nothing but ashes behind. Her roar shook the earth, a terrifying sound that echoed across the land. Her claws ripped through flesh and bone, unstoppable in her rage. She was a whirlwind of destruction. Ra watched in horror, realizing the extent of his mistake. He had unleashed a monster, a force that even he could not control. Sekhmet was destroying everything in her path, leaving a trail of ruin. She was killing the innocent along with the guilty, her wrath indiscriminate. Ra had to stop her, to find a way to contain the fury he had set free. Section 5. A River of Red. The story of Ra and Sekhmet is one of the most dramatic tales in ancient Egyptian mythology. But how could Ra stop Sekhmet? She was a powerful force of destruction, created by Ra himself to punish humanity for their sins. She was his own creation, a manifestation of his wrath. She was fueled by his own power, making her nearly unstoppable. He could not simply order her to stop, as she was beyond his direct control. He had to trick her, using his wisdom and cunning. Ra came up with a plan, a clever and desperate one. He ordered his servants to brew a special beer. This beer was red, the color of blood. It was the color of blood. It was very strong. It was intoxicating, designed to deceive Sekhmet. Ra poured the red beer into the Nile. The river flowed red, resembling a river of blood. Sekhmet was thirsty from her rampage, her thirst for blood unquenched. She saw the Red River, thinking it was filled with blood. She thought it was blood. She lapped it up eagerly. Sekhmet drank deeply, her thirst driving her. She became drunk. She stumbled and fell. She fell into a deep sleep, her fury finally subdued. Ra had stopped her. He had saved Egypt from her wrath, but at a terrible cost. The land bore the scars of her destruction, a reminder of the power and danger of the gods. He had saved Egypt, but at a terrible cost.